Hello, everyone, and welcome to this on-demand training under the District 100 Star Club Officers training for the topic of Advanced Public Relations. I am Leena Joe. I am the training chair for District 100 this year, and I'm also part of the social media team. And in today's program, we are going to be talking more about what are some of the things that you as club officers need to focus on for the remaining half of the Toastmasters year. So we're going to be focusing on how you can enhance your public relation efforts, how you can build your membership growth through PR in the following months as you work towards finishing the year strong. So with that, I want to take you through what is the agenda for today's training. We're going to be talking a little bit about how do we craft our PR message based on which audience category that we would like to appeal to. Then we're going to be looking at some of the available resources and tools. This is primarily to see how you can try to do your PR efforts in the most simplest ways possible. So we're going to be looking at some of the tips and tricks over here. And then finally, we're going to be focusing on engagement, which is a very important aspect in public relations and social media. So the first one is, it is very important for you as a club officer, whether you're playing the role of a VP PR or a VP of membership, to know which audience you are trying to do your promotional efforts for. Because the message that you have in those promotional materials will have to be tailored based on which audience you are trying to reach out to. So there are two audiences that we as club officers try to reach out to in our public relation efforts: internal and external. Now, internal is all of our members, whereas external is anyone who is not a member. So it's going to be someone who is a guest, who's going to be a potential member, but not currently a member. And the reason we need to know this difference and we need to understand this difference well is because when we are doing promotion, the content that we use in some of these promotional material should cater to the right audience. The words, the terminologies that we use, it should be understandable by the intended audience. So if we are, I'll give you an example. If we are trying to do a promotional flyer on social media for an external audience, that is in all the non-members, and if we happen to use Toastmasters terminologies, which mostly only the members understand, for example, pathways or DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, that those might be terminologies which the external audience might not understand, and therefore they might not relate to the promotional content that you post. So that is why it is very important for us to understand this. So internal content, I can give you a few examples. Anything to do with your internal communication with your members. So if you want to communicate something about your club meetings, or if there are some updates or some officer meetings, so anything that is, any information that is pertaining only to your members, that is what will come under the internal audience. And external is anything that you want to reach out to the general public. So your open houses, any special club meetings that you want to do, or even your regular club meetings for that matter, you will post it in such a way that you are talking to the external audience, to potential members and guests, as to why they need to attend that particular meeting. What are they going to get by attending that meeting? So any of your open houses or club meetings or special meetings where you have guest speakers, all those will be for the external audience. And you can also have things like benefits of Toastmasters. Why should someone join Toastmasters? Any of the recognition that you would like to have, where you want to recognize your members in public forums. So those are all some of the examples for the external communication efforts. So these are some of the programs or events that we as club officers plan. Open houses, which is primarily towards membership building, club meetings, celebrations, special events, trainings and workshops. There are several clubs who have a unique value, a unique proposition within their club. Some of them focus on social media. Some of them might focus on how to give a long format speech. So each club has got its unique value proposition, and they might want to conduct trainings or workshops on that particular area of speciality within the club. So those are some of the programs and events you can look at. And as for PR interventions, what are the different platforms through which you can do your PR efforts? Social media is a very big platform. Then you have newsletters. Some clubs use newsletters as well. Flyers, physical flyers, which you print out and post it at the venue or around the venue if your club is meeting in person or if it's a hybrid club. Then your club website. This is a very important area in which you can do your PR efforts. And it's important that you have the right information on your club website. So it has to have up-to-date information about what your club is all about, where do you meet, how frequently do you meet. All that information should be accurate on the club website. And then you have the response to the contact us emails. So you as the VP of Public Relations and VP of Membership most likely will be receiving the contact us emails where guests try to reach out to the club through the Find a Club feature that we have on the Toastmasters website. And I can't tell you how important it is because this is one of the features which has helped my club add 2 new members just over the last 2 weeks, solely because we were able to respond promptly to the contact us emails, and we were able to have those guests visit us for our club meeting in a timely manner. And they really liked the fact that we were so responsive and that we were so appreciative of their participation, and they immediately signed up to be a member. So sometimes even in these simple ways, you will be able to add members and build your membership. So it's very important to promptly respond to the contact us emails, preferably within 1 or 2 days of receiving it. Then media releases. Some clubs choose media release as a platform to press releases to promote their club, to talk more about their club. Then you have social events. There are clubs who showcase their club at a booth at some event. And then, yes, you also have blogs and podcasts. So you can choose which of these interventions make sense for you. So it might not be possible to have presence in all these areas because then you'll be spreading yourself too thin. So you need to see which of these makes sense for your club. To give an example, I was recently talking to one of the clubs where they meet in person at a library, and they have these flyers that they post around the library on the library bulletin boards. And they had quite a few guests walk up to them, quite a few public people just walk up to them wanting to know more about Toastmasters because they saw those physical flyers on the bulletin boards. So for these situations, it might make a lot of sense to have the physical flyers posted on the bulletin boards. But if you are not an in-person club, then yes, social media and newsletters or blogs might be some of the avenues suitable for you. And irrespective of which program you're conducting or which intervention you are choosing, it is very, very important to highlight your club's unique feature. Each of the several Toastmasters clubs that are out there is unique. You have something which is special that you can offer the members joining your club. So it is important to let those guests know what will they get by joining your club. And if that is something they are looking for, then yes, it's a good fit for them to join your club. So that is why it's important to highlight your club's unique feature. This is a few examples of internal communication. If you see, it's talking more about a workshop that we conducted for our club officers on the left side, which is marketing like a pro. And this is a very good session that I would recommend for all of you as club officers if you have not yet attended. Towards the end of the presentation, I will show you where you can get the recording to this session that we had in September. And on the right side, if you see, we have the District 100 Learning Labs, which is more, again, an internal communication. So you will find I have used words like pathways. So for the 11 a.m. slot, I just say pathways. That's because this piece of information is for our members, and almost all our members know what pathways is. So you can use terminologies which are Toastmasters specific in your internal communication, but not so much in your external, because it might not be relatable to the external audience. So if you see the picture on the left side, the promotion on the left side, market like a pro, this is something which I learned from this session of Market Like a Pro, which was conducted by Cheryl Rausch. So Cheryl talks about any piece of content that you design, it is important to answer few of these questions, which I have shown on the left side. The first one is, why should the reader join or attend this particular workshop or the session? So you need to call that out specifically. And as you see here, you can see it's asking questions saying, do you want greater response from your promotional efforts? Do you want tried and proven tips? If so, join this live workshop. So you need to let the reader know what is in it for them. Only then they will try to act on what is the information in that promotional content. Then you can talk about who should attend this session. So if you see in the description on top, we have said this session is for all, ideal for all members and officers. And then, of course, you need to talk about how can someone attend that session. So is there a registration link? So that's basically your call to action. And that primarily should go at the bottom of the promotional content. And usually it's better to use an animation where it pops out so that it grabs the eye and they are able to go ahead and act on the action that you want them to take, which is registering for that session. So any piece of information that you design, try to have these aspects in that. And Cheryl talks in detail about this in her training, Market Like a Pro. I will show you later how to access the recording for that. These are some examples for the external communication. So if you see any celebrations, if you have any recognitions, all those you can, even your club meeting. So the one in the middle is the promotion for a club meeting. And here they have tried to talk about why do you need to join for this particular thing. So they're saying this is about finding your voice, and you can build confidence for your speech, for your next speech, by joining this particular Toastmasters club and practicing. So, and then they talk about when they meet, where do they meet, and how to register for their meetings. So it's very similar to the what is in it for the reader, and who should be joining, and when are they meeting, and how to join in for the meeting. So the same questions we saw on the previous slide, that is being followed here as well, just that this is for external audience also and not just internal audience. Now we're going to be focusing a little bit about the TI branding. So any promotional content that we create, it is very important to meet the TI brand guidelines. And the reason why we do this is so that we are having a uniform approach, a uniform experience for all our members as well as our potential members. And it also calls for a greater brand recall when you're using the brand guidelines. So the link on top that you see is the link to the brand portal. Once you are on the Toastmasters brand portal, you will find there are several sections, as can be seen on the image on the left side. where it talks about the various sections. So it talks about the logo usage, it talks about the color palette, it talks about the fonts, how to use images in photography, and so many more things like that. So if you've not yet seen the brand portal, I strongly encourage you to get yourself familiarized with this, because it is very important that anything that we put out in the public, whether it's social media platforms or physical flyers, it is important that we abide by the brand guidelines. So this is just an example of the color palette. It talks about the fonts. I've just shown what are the different fonts that we can use. Recently, they've added some of the free script fonts, which is Corinthia and Luxurious Script, as can be seen in the bottom in the center section. And these are more ornate fonts. So if you want to use it for any celebratory communication, you can please feel free to use those. On the right side, I've just given a snapshot of the logo usage, the do's and the don'ts. So it's very important that we try to adhere to all this. I'm not going in detail towards the brand manual in this presentation, but I strongly encourage you to read through this brand manual, and try. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to the PR team in your district if you are joining us from another district, and we will definitely be able to guide you. These are some of the resources available for you as officers, as VP of Public Relations, that are available on the Toastmasters International website. So if you go into the Leadership Central, into Club Officer Tools, and into Club Officer Roles, you will land up, you can select the Public Relations role, and this is the page that you will be able to access. And here you have several documents that are available for you as a VP of PR. You can look at some of the sample news releases. You can look at some of the logos and templates that are available. You can try to reuse some of these things so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So this has got a lot of information for you to use or reuse. And I strongly encourage you to go through this as well. So we saw a little bit about the two types of audience that we cater to. We saw the TI brand guidelines. Now we're going to be going into some of the aspects, which is social media platforms and some scheduling tools. So I'm going to just take you through some of these. Social media platforms, there are several thousand social media platforms that are available currently. And social media plays a very important and huge role in our lives today. Here, I've just tried to list a few of the top few social media platforms, the big social media platforms or the most prominent ones. And if your club does not have presence on social media as of now, I would encourage you to try and explore if any of these platforms might be suitable for you. And here again, a disclaimer, it is not needed that you have to have an account for your club on each of these social media platforms. I repeat what I said sometime earlier, that is going to spread yourself too thin. So try to see which is the one or two social media platforms which makes most sense for your club. I can give you an example. A few months ago, we were trying to do some social media promotion for one of the clubs that we were trying to launch. And this club was primarily geared towards entrepreneurs. So what we did was we didn't want to promote it across all the different platforms. We chose only two platforms to do the promotion. One was LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a more professional social media networking platform. So it made sense for a new club that we're trying to launch for entrepreneurs to be promoted on LinkedIn. And the other platform that we use for this particular situation was Facebook, that too Facebook groups. So in Facebook, there are several groups that you can find, which you can join. So we try to join some of the groups, Facebook groups, specifically for entrepreneurs. And there we tried to see if we were able to showcase the benefits of this new club that we were planning to launch to the entrepreneurs in that group. So like that, it is important for you to see which social media platform is most suitable for your club. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, these are more towards engaging with the younger generation. It's going to be talking more about short videos, 1 minute videos. So it's called Reels in Instagram. It's called Shorts in YouTube. So if that is the kind of content that you want to use, if that is the kind of content that's more suitable for your club, then yes, you can look at platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube as well. So moving on, I want to speak a little bit about content creation. And I'm going to specifically be talking about some of the key things for you to keep in mind when you create content, such that you are able to find easy ways to create content, because it is a very well-known fact that one of the most important things in public relations is that you have to have constant presence. People should be able to have that recall, and they'll have that recall only when they have seen a considerable amount of promotional content from you. Only then can they have the recall about your club. So that is why it is very important to constantly conduct your promotional endeavors. And that brings us to the question, what if I don't have sufficient time to commit to create so much content? Then how am I going to be able to have constant promotion for my club? So that is what we're going to see in the next few slides. All that I have learned over the last few years in my role in the social media team, I would like to share with all of you. And there are several more ways in which you can try to make your promotional efforts easy. Especially today, there is a lot of artificial intelligence. There's a lot of these tools that you can use, which can make your life so much easier. But I just wanted to share a few of them with you to try to discover easy ways to maintain constant presence in your promotional efforts. So some things, where do you get design ideas? Sometimes we hit a roadblock. We are not able to generate ideas. I have faced this quite a few times. When I sit to design some piece of content, I just hit a roadblock and I'm just not having those creative juices on that particular day. So then what I do is I try to go back to social media and try to get ideas from there. So it could be the district social media platform, or it could be the Toastmasters International social media pages, or maybe some other club social media pages. Just look around so that you will get ideas from some of those promotional content that you see. So definitely follow your district social media pages and the Toastmaster International social media pages if you have not yet done. You will get a lot of content from those pages as well. Maintaining brand guidelines, we already spoke about it earlier. Then content creation tools. There are several tools that we have currently for content creation. Some of those are what I have mentioned here: Canva, Microsoft PowerPoint, Adobe. And the one that I use predominantly is Canva, because that is something that I personally find very easy to use. So if you have already started using Canva, that's great. If you're looking for a tool to content creation tool to try working with, I would strongly recommend Canva, because that's something that I have already worked with. But there are other tools like Adobe and Microsoft PowerPoint also, which can still help you with content creation. So please feel free to look around and see which is the one that works best for you, and you can use those. Most of these content creation tools have got a lot of templates, a lot of designs for you to work with. So that way it's going to make your life so much more easier. And I will talk a little more about Canva in the next few slides. And also, we did conduct a learning lab session on Canva basics. I had conducted that in the month of September. We have some of the recordings from last year's Canva basics session in our Learning Labs portal. Towards the end, I will show you how to access those recordings. Then making life easy through templates. So as I said, irrespective of which content creation tool you're using, all of them have got several templates for you to choose from. Use those templates, save those templates in your Canva page or whichever platform you're using, so that you can try to create a lot of repetitive content. For example, if you have something like word of the week or quote of the week, all these you can easily create it within a matter of few minutes if you're using the template options. And I will show you a little bit about that in the next slide. Then tailoring content for the platform. So this is very important because each social media platform, the dimensions of the content, the size of the poster that you design is going to vary. So for example, Instagram, the standard post that you put up on Instagram it is a square format. So it is a 1080 into 1080 dimension or size. Whereas in Facebook or LinkedIn, it might be a more rectangular poster that you create. So then you have two options here. You in Canva and even some of the other platforms, as seen in this particular image, they have the option when you create a piece of content, you can choose which platform you would like to post it on. And the template will be sized based on that. So you can choose to create multiple templates based on the different platforms that you want to use. Or if you do not wish to do that, if you feel that is time consuming, what usually works for me is I use the Instagram square posts, the one that I have highlighted on the image on the bottom in the red square. So that is Instagram post square dimension, which is 1080 into 1080. So this is something that works perfectly well for Instagram, and it also works comparatively well for Facebook or LinkedIn. So with the same content that I create, I'm able to post it across platforms. So you can feel free to play around with this and you can see which is the one that you would like to use. As for creating content, do remember that there are several things that you can look into. You can create the dynamic posts, the static posts, which is like just a image, or you can create a dynamic one, which is like a video where it has some animation and some moving parts and all as well. So you can feel free to just play around and see, but the bottom line is have variety in the content that you post. So you can use some of the posts can be just static images like what I said, or you can have reels or videos or different things like that you can try out. I know of one of the clubs who heavily uses TikTok as a social media platform, and they are able to take short 1 minute videos immediately after their club meeting. They just walk up to their members and they say, okay, what is the one thing you have learned in today's meeting, or what is the highlight point of today's meeting? And those short 1 minute videos, they post it as reels on the platforms like Instagram and TikTok. So you can look at options like that. Member testimonials is a very, very important thing that you can tap into, because nothing speaks better about your club than your members sharing their benefits that they have gained through your club. So definitely lean on those member testimonials as a piece of content for your promotion. If you have any recognitions, if anyone has achieved education goals or even some external recognitions that they have gained because of the benefits they've got from Toastmasters, all those you can use as promotional content. Make sure you get consent from your members before you use their content in your promotions. Celebrations, events, if your club is meeting up for some holiday party or some dinner, any of those you can use as promotional content, because all that is showing the potential members what your club stands for and how much fun they can have by joining your club. So you're showing them a true representation of your club. So these are all some of the options that you can use. Connect with pictures, connect with animation. So this is what I spoke about, the variety. Try to see how you're able to add to your posts all these different aspects that are available. And one note to remember here is try and use your club's pictures as far as possible, your club members, than the stock photos that are available, because then again, it's going to be giving a true representation of your club to the potential members. So try and use your own club meeting photos rather than the stock images. Here you can see an example of how you can use templates to create a lot of content in a very easy manner. So there is this feature in Canva called the bulk create. So if you go into that bulk create feature, any of your recurring posts, like word of the day or quote of the week, or any trivia that you wanted to share, or benefits that you want to share. So all those which are your recurring posts, you can use this bulk create feature where you can use just one template and create several slides of that. And you can use one slide for each of the week. So an example that is shown here is the word of the week. So it's from the same template that I've been able to create both these. So we do show this in the Canva Basics presentation as well. So if you're interested, do join in for the Learning Lab sessions, where we'll be talking a little bit about the live demo of how to use this bulk create feature. And of course, you will find a lot of videos on online as well, where you can see how to use the bulk create feature. So Canva is a really good platform. And one good thing about Canva is you can try to upgrade from the basic membership to the pro membership in Canva by submitting the Toastmasters non-profit letter. You can upgrade it for free. So reach out to your public relations manager, and they'll be able to tell you how you can do this if you have any questions around this, so that you are able to upgrade to the pro version in Canva for free with the Toastmasters non-profit letter. So now we're going to be looking at scheduling tools. Once you've created your content, what next? You can try to use these several scheduling tools that are available to make your life easy by scheduling out your content for the next few weeks at one go. You don't have to necessarily spend time on a daily basis having to go and post content on social media. You can earmark one day of the month or one day every 2 weeks where you can try to schedule content for the remaining 2 weeks, so that that is going to take care of posting all the content for you whenever you would like it to be posted. So some of the examples we're going to be looking at is the Meta Business Suite. Now, most likely, if your club is having Facebook or Instagram and you will be managing the club's Facebook page, you will have access to this Meta Business Suite. So the good thing about this is, since both Facebook and Instagram come under the Meta parent company, using this business suite, you are able to schedule content across both these platforms with a single action. So that way it makes it so much easier. It reduces the time by a lot. So once you are in the Facebook Meta Business Suite, this is how you go about scheduling content. You can go into the planner, the section which reads B, the second image. So that is where you'll be able to select the planner. And once you're in the planner, then you will have the entire calendar for the week and for the entire month. You can choose which view you would like to see. So preferably you can have the week view. And in that, you'll have each day of the week listed in the calendar. And depending on which day you would like to post, you can go and click the schedule post for that particular day. Once you click on schedule post, then you'll be brought to the final image on the screen that you see, the image which reads E. So here is where you will choose the different pages that you want to post to. So as I said, you can post both to Facebook and Instagram in the same action itself. So select both Instagram and Facebook. And then here you can add what is the media that you want, the image that you created, the flyer that you created. And then you can add whatever is the text that you want to post along with the image. It is very important to have descriptive text for your images, because from an accessibility point of view, it is important because people will not be able to post any link that is there on the image itself. So that is why it is important that you have any link, registration link, or any of the links that you want to post in the description along with the image. Also, this helps people who use a reader when they are scrolling through social media, when they are not able to view the content. So in that case, descriptive messages are very important along with the actual image. So once you upload all that, you can schedule the time, the date and time that you want this post to be scheduled for and posted. So definitely make use of Meta Business Suite if you have a Facebook or an Instagram page for your club. There are several other tools as well for scheduling. So you have Metricool is one tool that we use in our district. You have several other tools like that, but most of those are tools where you have to pay for it. Whereas the Meta Business Suite is a free platform because you already have an account for your club on that. So you don't have to pay anything extra to be able to use this Meta Business Suite feature. With that, we will be talking about a very important aspect in public relations, which is engagement. So till now, we saw the different types of audience that we cater to. We saw how to create content, some of the easy ways. We saw what are different types of content you can create. We also saw scheduling tools, which are going to help you post that content onto social media. What next? So it is not sufficient that we just promote or we just post content on social media. The engagement that follows that is very, very important. And this is where you need support from all your existing club members. It is not something which you will be able to do alone, because you need all your members to be able to add into that engagement. So even if they are liking the post that you have put out there, or if they are commenting, if they are sharing it or reposting it, all that is going to help you have a higher engagement level. So we're going to be talking a little bit about engagement. So some of the ways in which you can try to get support from your club members is by asking them to like, to comment, to share or repost any of those content that you post there. You can make use of hashtags because hashtag is also a way where it'll have a higher reach. So if someone, for example, this image on the right side that we have posted, so the hashtags that I've used on that is Halloween, hashtag monster, hashtag vampire, and all that. So if someone goes to Google and searches Halloween, this is one of the posts that will come up in the list of posts. So hashtag is just an easier way to make your content accessible. So try to use the relevant hashtags and the right amount of hashtags. You don't want to be using too less or too much, too many of those hashtags. And the example that I've shown here is a very simple thing that we did. This was for last year Halloween, which we did on our members group. And yes, we did this on the public page as well. So we try to ask questions and try to see if that will create some engagement, create some conversation on your social media pages. So you can think of ideas. I can give you another example, which is the word of the day. So sometime back, we saw through the bulk create function how we created the word of the day templates, which you can use week on week. And each time when you post that word of the day, you can, in the description, you can ask members to add what is the word usage that you can think of for that particular word. So once each of your members start posting their comments, all that is going to help you build on that engagement, build on that reach for that particular post. And that's going to help the algorithm where it's going to bring that post, to a higher visibility amongst the general public. So try and use all these different ways to see how you can enhance your engagement. And a very simple example I just wanted to show you here. I've given a list of different posts that was posted earlier. And if you see the very first post, it has got one share. So if you go to the right extreme, you can see the last column is shares, the number of shares, how many times it is being shared. And this particular post was shared only once. I mean, I know it's a small number, But I just wanted to show you that example where even with that one share, the reach that that post got was much higher than those posts which were not shared at all. So if one share can increase the reach by so much, imagine if all your club members are able to share it. And if you have so many more instances of it being shared, the reach is going to be that much higher. So try and encourage your club members to engage actively on the content that you are promoting on social media. With that, I would like to leave you with a few tips. This is more of a recap of what we have spoken in today's on-demand training program. First, understanding audience so that you're able to tailor the message based on that. And please do see the recording of Cheryl's Market Like a Pro workshop. She talks a lot about the different types of readers and what are the things you need to do to engage with those readers to make sure that they are acting or they are registering for your particular workshop. The next is constant presence, very, very important. And for this, you can try to calendarize your content. What that means essentially is try to see that you have a standard set of posts every week. Every Monday, you can have a word of the week. Every Friday, you can have maybe a quote or a tip of the week. And every Wednesday, you can have a member testimonial. So that in itself is 3 pieces of content every week for you. So try to calendarize so that you have a constant presence in your social media platforms. Use templates as far as possible. They make your life so much easier. Try to look at the Canva bulk create feature and try to use some of those which will help you. Follow trends to see what are the current trends, to see what is most relevant for you to add in your content. Accessible content, we spoke about this, adding links in your description, registration links and all, so that people are able to click that because they would not be able to click the actual image where the link might be mentioned. Then engagement. Engagement is very, very important. So try to draw your members in, encourage them to add to that engagement, add to that conversation every time you post content for your club on your club's pages. And finally, I mentioned this earlier. I wanted to show you where you can access some of our earlier recordings about some of these topics. The workshop that we had with Cheryl that I was talking about. So this website link on top, District 100 Learning Labs. This is the link to the District 100 Learning Labs page. Once you're on this page, you'll be able to find the register option over here. So we have the Learning Labs every month, the first Sunday of the month. So if you can you can register and you can join in for some of these sessions. We talk about various topics in the Learning Labs. You can see which are the topics you would like to know more about, and you can attend those sessions. So on the Learning Labs website, we have the recordings of some of the previously conducted sessions. And you can see an example on the bottom left is the recording that we had in September for Cheryl's Market Like a Pro session. So this is where you will be able to access the recording to the recording of the workshop that we had in September. And this one is the District 100 Toastmasters YouTube page. Once you're on the YouTube page of District 100 Toastmasters, look for the playlist which says PR Enrichment. So these are recordings from last year's on-demand training program. So if you see, we've broken it down into different topics. So we have one on Canva Basics by Shante. Then we've spoken about Metricool, which is a scheduling tool, about Chat GPT, about Meta. So there are all these several recordings of previous trainings that you can look into if you are interested. I just wanted to share that also with you so that you have as many resources, as many ideas as possible that's going to help you enhance your promotional efforts for the last few months of this Toastmasters year and help your club finish strong by building your membership. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at training@d100.org. Or if you're joining us from some other district, you can still reach out to us, or if you would like, you can reach out to your district leadership team as well. If you do not know who to reach out to, just email us to training@d100.org, and we can at least direct you to the appropriate person so that you're able to get all the support that you need to successfully complete your role as Vice President of Public Relations. And I also want to um, call out to you that as you pass on your current role of VPPR or VP membership to the next set of club officers at the end of this Toastmasters year in June and July, it is very important that you help them with a smooth transition by sharing sharing all the documentation that you have, all the credentials that you use. So as a VPPR, you have access to so many different social media platforms of your club. You most likely will be managing your club's website, whether it's Free Toast Host or some other website that you use. So you will be the one who's having the credentials this year to access all those platforms. So it's very important that you help the new VPPR who's going to come into your role next year by sharing all that information with them and helping them out with the initial transition. So with that, I want to thank you once again for being a club officer this year and for helping your club achieve its goals and finishing the year strong to become a distinguished or even better club.